I summon up the power of Banana Clan. Witness the fitness. One hope. One quest. Rodney Smith, better known as Roots Manuva, is a London-based UK rapper producing dubby, hip-hop, trip-hoppy tastiness. He grew up in Stockwell, London. And you know what they say about Stockwell? Change at Stockwell for Victoria Line. Well, they do say it.
They do say that.
And they do say it a lot. The production on this album felt pretty fucking raw. It was just delightful.
This shit was dark.
I love hearing this kind of music. Like, I much prefer it because when we're listening to like Ellie Goulding, let's say, for example.
I don't know why we'd ever listen to that.
No, overproduced as shit. Every track sounds kind of the same. Everything's so sort of flat. But this is just original and exciting, and it's sort of unpolished. You know, it's got that rawness that you want. So when everything sounds perfect, it sounds boring to me.
Trap is one of those genres as well, where when you hear it, it's like cock rock, deep house. When you hear it on an album, the first thing you always think is this going to be a generic thrown in there to appease the genre for the track? But I never had that with any of the trappy tracks on this album. You always get it and you're just like, oh, this is interesting. And then it has the big 808s and stuff, and you're just like, it's just interesting.
You got anything to say about the production on this Trackio Serio?
It's incredible. I thought the production on this throughout the entire album is consistently refreshing and just really dark and chill in moments, as well as kind of having some more up-tempo things, as well as having like some lighter,
varied.
not so dark kind of grey, if you will, regions.
Just
really,
because-
really, really diverse throughout the entire album.
I just want to make one thing clear about our channel, is that we want to get people into music. Like, he's not a new artist, but we know a lot of people don't know about him for some crazy reason. But you say Roots Manuva, and a lot of people say never ever heard of him, but you probably have listened to him rapping a bit, because he featured on All Alone, Gorillaz, Demon Days. He was the rapper in that, which was an incredible rap as well.
Like brilliant rap.
The bars in that were just insane. I know like every word to that. I'm sure you do as well.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's also one of my favourite music videos of all time is Witness the Fitness. We'll put a link to it somewhere in the description. The description's over. Where is it today?
It's always down.
Down.
Always by your genitals.
I heard there was an eye involved somewhere that I could get involved.
Oh, the eye would be there if
The
we
eye
remember
would be
to
there.
do the eye.
Is it not there today?
If we don't remember to do the eye,
I can eye it.
you can eye it,
I can eye it up.
and then I'll put a thing on your face,
Okay.
and then you put one in the description. Then we've got it all covered.
Sweet. Go and watch that video. Seriously, you won't regret it. So
You won't. It's brilliant.
Hard fucking bastards. No, just hard bastards. This was the opening of the album, and it opens it perfectly.
Yeah, it sets the mood for the whole album.
It does.
Hard bars from hard ass bastards. So I just wanted to say that.
I think that the thing which comes across the most, obviously, it's a hip-hop album, and for that reason, the main thing that you're coming for is the lyrics.
The rapidy dap daps.
Hip hop, don't stop, and stop. But don't.
So the lyrics are socially conscious.
Yes,
is the
I
way
have
that
those
would-
exact words written down here.
I have the words real talk.
Oh. I love this song. It was just basically people from all walks of life are
I
bastards.
thought the hook was pretty weak. I was like, is this going to be an album with a load of hooks sung by him that don't really hit?
Get out.
But it was one of the only songs where he had it.
Just get straight out.
And I thought, mostly over the album, I didn't see it again.
Okay. Well,
the thing about the socially conscious lyrics throughout this entire album, and they are throughout the whole album.
yeah.
He's not saying anything new. He's not saying anything that no one has ever said before. But he's saying it in a way that makes it sound as though it's the first time you're hearing it.
He's saying it from a very sort of personal point of view and very believable and authentic.
Yeah.
He really has that authenticity. This guy.
Really. And not only that, but it's just... It just comes across as though this guy cares and he knows what he's talking about, and he's someone that you can trust.
Yeah.
Even though you probably agree with all of these messages anyway,
Yeah.
I would say that it just comes across in a really, really authentic manner. And
Yeah. I got kind of like an anti-capitalist vibe of a lot of this.
Especially in a song called Cargo, which was one of my favourites.
Yeah, same here.
The great rhymes in that, great flow, like a really desolate piano line, but there was this whole anti-global elite kind of vibe going throughout that track. And then again on like One Thing, I think they were talking about consumerism and money and just everything in that kind of field.
And I think the production goes with it as well, where when I think about how to describe the production of this album, I think of it like the sort of hip-hop sample-based equivalent to like what we're talking about when we talk about things like Fiddler and the new Weezer, where it like sounds like it could have been recorded in a garage or a studio.
I would describe it as simple, dark, often weird, and raw.
But I feel like it fits the thing where they could have had like a big, quite nice studio in London to do this and set it up all nice. They could have also done it in like the producer's bedroom with just, you know, a drum pad and a thing, because there's a lot of sort of those sort of very very sounds like the strings on this album when they come in always entirely sampled. And they all sound great, but they have that sort of garage vibe.
An interesting thing about that is I think that the simple beats work with him because his voice can do so much. He has such variation.
He has a real powerful voice as well.
He does.
Yeah.
It's
And he
strong.
can
Recognisable as well.
Yeah.
really recognisable. And he can sing as well in the choruses, even though it's not fantastic singing.
Yeah.
it's right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be
It fits
amazing.
the mood
It fits
perfectly.
the vibe, definitely, yeah.
Like in I Know Your Face was like one of the darkest fucking tracks on the album. It's all about him being in a car crash with one of his friends and the friend's dying. At some point, when he gets like really emotional and into it, he goes kind of like Rastafarian and with those kind of vocal mannerisms, and it's really reminiscent of ODB.
Right.
Old dirty bastard. But
God rest his soul.
not comical like a lot of ODB stuff was.
Also, the lyrics in that song in particular were quick and they were diverse, but it kind of made you want to go back and listen to it a lot because there was a lot going on.
You wanted to catch everything.
And you wanted to catch everything, and that I felt happened throughout this entire album. There were songs where you'd be like, okay, he's rapping fast, or
It's very deep.
Not necessarily fast, but there's a lot going on and a lot to take
There's a lot
in.
of depth into what he's
And
saying.
also the lyrics are quite vague in parts, though they can be incredibly subjective. So being able to just keep playing the song back and hearing a new thing every time is something which is, as a music
It's
head,
needed to be a great. I think in rap especially,
it's
more than
necessary.
anything else, it's pretty necessary to have that sort of depth within your lyrics.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Facity
Facity was interesting.
211?
I thought it was.
Was it Facity? Or was
I think it was.
Facity?
I think it was Facity because of what he's saying throughout the track, which is boat race, which is rhyming slang for face, which is what makes me think that.
Fair enough.
London slang, you know.
Interesting sounds. I was listening to it. I was like, "Oh, this is really different. This is sort of like the most experimental thing on the album. Probably it's quite interesting." And when it was rapping quite near the beginning, I really liked it. I thought the main problem with it, there's too much near the end where it relied entirely on the samples.
Yeah,
and
I
let it
didn't
run a bit too much.
I didn't like them too much. The samples.
He had because I was like, it's interesting, and then he started rapping, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I'm enjoying the whole package of this.
Did you know Fortet
When he
produced
stopped-
that track?
Oh really?
Yeah.
yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I did.
I saw him live twice.
Interesting.
In the same weekend. Yeah, but like, and I thought it was good and interesting when it was all together, but at the end it sort of trailed off, and the rapping had stopped, and it was just letting it ride entirely on the samples, and I didn't think they were strong enough to carry it for that long. I thought by the end of the track I was like,
Yeah, for me that was one of the weaker tracks.
something else going to happen.
What
I
do you think of
thought
that
it
track?
was the weakest track
I
on the album.
thought that it was. The problem is, for me, there wasn't really a weak track. I felt as though they were all really good tracks, but for me, it didn't. The ones which I would class as weaker, none of them stood out as being weaker than each other. They were all like the same level, and they were all really good.
I know. I feel like that there was a bit of it. Like in Facity, I think it's definitely weaker. But like when I say it's weaker,
Carry on.
however you say it, it's still like when I say it's weaker, I'd still give it like a 6 or 7. Like it's still good. All of it is good. You know,
I thought it was kind of crazy and confusing
Yeah.
throughout that intro of that song, and then obviously just the points where you're listening to only the instrumentation. It was so interesting, but maybe to the point where you kind of took it in as a whole package. And I feel as though the problem with that is that you're not kind of trying to disassemble it in your own mind. Because there's so much going on, and being able to see the relationships between what's being included is kind of difficult when it's just all being laid on you straight away, and then he's rapping, and then it just goes, and while he's rapping it doesn't really take much away. It's still this whole thing, and this whole thing is kind of being pushed upon you.
Yeah. Well, so what would you say your favourite tracks from the album are?
Okay, so Crying I thought was incredible. I thought that was
Crying was really good. Yeah.
the idea behind that song was to be incredibly unnerving, and I felt as though it did it
really
It was fucking
well.
trippy as fuck, especially to write the outro on that with the organ and the crying.
I felt unnerved when I was listening to it, and if you're able to get that kind of emotion across just from the first time of listening to a song, you're doing something right.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I love that. I liked Hard Bastards.
Hard Bastards is also brilliant.
I like that a lot. I thought Cargo was excellent as well. I enjoyed One Thing, maybe not as much as these other ones that I've mentioned. And I Know Your Face. I really enjoyed that one as well.
So, The Gareth?
My favourite thing was actually favourite song was One Thing. I really liked One Thing. It kind of had the sort of middle ground between being one of the sort of more, like, not that there's a huge range of it, but one of the sort of more poppy side of it. It was just really sort of nice. It was like the best sort of like song that I would describe as a trap song on there, you know. It did it well, and I was like, this is great. And then Stepping Hard, I really liked.
That was awesome.
Don't Breathe Out, I really liked, and Crying, I think, was excellent.
Yeah, I'd probably go for Hard Bastards, Don't Breathe Out, Stepping Hard, and One Thing. Those are some fantastic songs to listen to. James, out of 10.
8. I'm going to give this an 8. I feel as though it's right on the border of a 7 and an 8, but I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.
I think I can see where this is going.
I like the idea that your score was James out of 10.
Yeah, got a James out of 10.
But no, yeah, I'm also going to go with an 8. I'm going to give it a strong 8, because I feel like this, for me, I put a strong 8 now, because I feel like it's one of those things that's so interesting and so diverse that with more of a listen, I will settle into either giving it an 8 or a weak 9. Like, I could see myself going either way, because I'm really getting into it, but right now, I'll say strong 8.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 as well. I feel like it had that. I think to get an 8, it needs to be something special, and this was something special.
It
definitely was. Also, just as a little side note, the album cover really worked.
Yeah, it looked great, didn't it?
It looked great, and it matched just the feelings that you were getting from looking at the album cover. You got when you were listening to the music. It worked perfectly.
Yeah,
Bleed.
it did. You could look at his face in that album cover and be like, "You're doing this, Rapidy Dap.
Yeah, rap-a-dap-dap.
You're doing that."
Anyway, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sonic Squeeze. We really appreciate you coming along here, spending your time here, clicking on that like button, commenting and saying, "Wow, Kit, I really love this album as well. I am going to go and watch that music video you told me to go and watch, which is down in the description."
Yes.
Yeah. And then you're going to comment here saying how much you loved that video.
And then go back and listen to Demon Days.
Then go listen to All Alone.
Rapidy Dap on that.
And then you're going to listen to Fortet.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
but
not?
before you go and
Go see him live.
Before all
festival.
that, you're skipping out a huge part of it. They got to
What's this huge
subscribe
part?
first.
Subscribe.
Then you can Fortet.
And then you got to go watch that Ellie Goulding album review as well.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot
That one.
stuff. Hot shit. Hot
What,
shit.
Ellie Goulding.
Oh wait, maybe just shit. Or maybe just hot.
Well, they do say it.
They do say that.
And they do say it a lot. The production on this album felt pretty fucking raw. It was just delightful.
Shit was dark.
I love hearing this kind of music. I much prefer it because when we're listening to like Ellie Goulding, let's say, for example.
I don't know why we'd ever listen to that.
No, overproduced as shit. Every track sounds kind of the same. Everything's so sort of flat. But this is just original and exciting, and it's sort of unpolished. You know, it's got that rawness that you want. So when everything sounds perfect, it sounds boring to me.
Trap is one of those genres as well, where when you hear it, it's like cock rock, deep house. When you hear it on an album, the first thing you always think is this going to be a generic thrown in there to appease the genre?
Rodney Smith, better known as Roots Manuva, is a London-based UK rapper producing dubby, hip-hop, trip-hoppy tastiness. He grew up in Stockwell, London. And you know what they say about Stockwell? Change at Stockwell for Victoria Line. I summon up the power of Banana Clan. Witness the fitness. One hope. One quest.
The track, but I never had that with any of the trappy tracks on this album. You always get it and you're just like, oh, this is interesting, and then it has the big 808s and stuff, and you're just like, it's just interesting.
You got anything to say about the production on this trackio stereo?
It's incredible. I thought the production on this throughout the entire album is consistently refreshing, and just really dark